The current generation of Toyota's compact SUV has been around for years, but that doesn't stop it from being the most popular vehicle in the world, with over 1 million units sold just in 2022. Nevertheless, the Japanese giant wants to continue the same trend in the future, so it's preparing a completely new generation of this SUV. Officials claim it'll be better than the predecessor in many aspects, and therefore we did some research and already found 8 reasons on why you should wait for the 2025 Toyota RAV4 instead of buying a still great current generation model. Let's start with a countdown. Number 8. All-new design. Of course, the most obvious reason is that the 2025 RAV4 will represent a completely new generation. So far, officials have been quiet about design solutions and features, but if we consider the sales numbers, it's super easy to guess that there will be no radical changes. The evolution of this almost perfect design will continue, and that's why we expect to see the new generation riding on the same but updated version of the GAK platform, which will bring subtle but quite comprehensive changes and improvements in all fields. The new version of the platform will open up many possibilities, particularly in terms of implementation of new technologies. The next generation RAV4 will be able to adapt more advanced hybrid powertrains along with the latest tech features, including the latest active drive assist systems. Moreover, it'll bring an updated chassis design with improved rigidity, a new suspension setup, and other tweaks that'll have a big impact on the overall driving experience. Number 7. More attractive look. One of the major novelties that is about to come with this redesign is the new look. The current model still looks nice despite the age, but it's time to move on and bring something even more modern. And while officials are still quiet, there is a bunch of unofficial renderings that show the evolution of the current design that goes in a pretty interesting direction. Namely, the grille design is similar but somehow bolder compared to the previous generation, while the headlights are a bit narrower. Such a combination provides a bolder and more aggressive look, but at the same time, the new model looks smoother, mainly because of the sleek profile line that moves the new model even further from the RAV4's original SUV design and definitely puts it in the crossover category. Some of these renderings even show a sloping roofline that creates a coupe crossover look, but we're not sure if Toyota designers are ready to go that far. Number 6. New hybrid powertrains. Several sources suggest that the Japanese car maker is about to drop the gas-only version from the offer and start selling the super popular SUV only as a hybrid. As the automotive world is leaning more and more toward electrification, this makes perfect sense and indicates further expansion of the electrified lineup. The current hybrid powertrain with 219 horsepower and a quite impressive fuel efficiency could easily carry over with minor changes. We would see the same overall setup based on the same 2.5-liter inline-4 engine with minor tweaks only, which would result in a slight power increase and even better fuel economy. On the other hand, the plug-in hybrid version, known as the RAV4 Prime, might come with more and more significant changes. As you may know, Toyota recently presented new plug-in hybrid technology with new batteries and claims that vehicles will be able to make over 100 miles in EV mode. The new RAV4 Prime might come with some of these batteries and bring a significant increase of the EV range, which is currently at a quite respectable 42 miles. Of course, bigger batteries indicate more capable electric motors, so the max output should be even more impressive than the current generation, which is rated at 302 horsepower. Finally, a number of experts suggest a high-performance version, something that the current generation has been missing. Namely, this particular version would feature a hybrid powertrain that puts a little bit more focus on the driving experience, and by that, we're primarily thinking of something that doesn't come with a CVT. The first system that comes to mind is the one that you can find in the Crown, based on a 2.4-liter Turbo 4 engine with a max output of 340 horsepower. Most importantly, that powertrain comes coupled with a conventional 6-speed automatic transmission. Number 5. New Special Edition. Buyers are perfectly aware of the fact that the RAV4 is such an impressive seller, and with so many RAV4s on the street, many of them want to stand out in some way to be different from the crowd. Toyota management became aware of this relatively recently and started offering special versions of its super popular SUV. But the offer of such versions is still quite modest and limited to a couple of off-road oriented models, such as the TRD Off-Road and the very fresh Woodland Edition, which is reserved for hybrid models only. So what we expect to see from the new generation is a broader range of models that stand out in some specific way. We expect to see all kinds of special editions, not necessarily off-road oriented models. Some versions may stand out with unique styling styling details, while others may offer further suspension and chassis upgrades. The latter particularly refers to the aforementioned new hybrid option with automatic transmission and 340 horsepower, which would definitely need some additional upgrades under the skin to deal with such high output and provide proper driving experience. Some sources speculate that this version could come as the RAV4 GR, with sport suspension, bigger brakes, and a solid portion of visual upgrades. Number 4. More passenger room. The current model features quite impressive exterior dimensions, but on the other hand, its wheelbase is actually shorter compared to many rivals, and that reflects the passenger space too. It's not that the outgoing model lacks any, but some competitors are more comfortable, while some even come with the optional third row of seats. And what can really help with this problem is a wheelbase that's a bit longer, which plays a critical role when it comes to legroom. In that way, the RAV4 would once again be among class leaders in this aspect. Furthermore, we could see minor improvements in terms of cargo space as well, though we have to say that the current model is already quite impressive in this aspect. Although the overall volume of the second row seats down is a little bit behind key competitors, the amount of space behind the second row is on par with class rivals, and the new generation could only make things even better. Number 3. Nicer interior and tech features. Although nice, the current model starts to show its age on the inside. More precisely, younger rivals look more upscale, due to the use of nicer materials and more modern tech features. That's exactly what we expect to see from the next generation 2025 RAV4. It should bring more attractive aesthetics complemented by a good portion of the latest tech goodies, including a bigger infotainment screen as well as a digital instrument cluster, which should be part of the standard equipment. But besides a more appealing look, there are also some pretty substantial changes that Toyota needs to make on this SUV. That particularly refers to the sound insulation, which has always been one of the weakest points in Toyota vehicles. The current RAV4 is a typical example, with a solid amount of road and wind noise, which definitely isn't something you would expect from a modern SUV of this size and price. Number 2. Safety Sense 3.0. Toyota has always been famous for its approach to safety, and the RAV4 never lacked any modern system. Moreover, it was always among class leaders, and that trend will continue with the next generation, which is about to feature the latest Toyota Safety Sense 3.0 suite of safety features with massive improvements in various aspects. First of all, the new version of the suite brings completely new radars and sensors, so systems like forward collision warning and automatic emergency braking offer enhanced support, and besides passengers and cyclists, can also detect motorcyclists. For the same reason, the adaptive cruise control detects vehicles from longer distances, which allows longer preset distances and smoother braking and acceleration. Other systems also bring major improvements. Lane departure alert brings enhanced lane recognition, while lane tracing assist now has the ability to steer the vehicle in its lane and provide more space for objects passing in an adjacent lane. We should also mention the all-new system called Proactive Driving Assist, which helps drivers with steering and braking in various challenging situations, while the traffic sign recognition detects even more sign types than before. Number 1. Production starts soon. One of the biggest reasons to wait for the 2025 RAV4 is the launch date. Simply said, you won't have to wait for too long to get the next generation RAV4 because it's already in development and production should start already in the next year. It may be early for a more precise launch date, but we're pretty sure that the first examples will be hitting the showrooms in the second half of 2024. On the other hand, it's still too early to speculate about the price, but we presume it'll be a little bit higher compared to the outgoing model. Thanks for watching and see you next time.